Ah! Here we have one-legged Romanian deadlifts. So with this, as with all exercises, you're going to keep Here we have one-legged Romanian deadlifts. As with all exercises, keep your belly tight while we're doing this. So we're going to start on the right leg. Right leg is planted forward onto the ground. You're going to keep your belly tight. Soften your knee. Slowly we're going to reach our hips backwards. Reaching back with the back foot to tap the toe and then coming right back up. Most of the weight should be on your heel. Again, you're going to press your hips backwards, tap your toe to the ground, and then squeeze your butt, bring yourself back up. Your belly should be tight the whole time while we're doing this. This is what it looks like from this side. Soften your knee. Most of the weight on the heel. Belly stays tight. You're going to move your hips backwards. Keep the knee slightly bent. Tap your toe. Press back up through the heel. Squeeze your butt. Belly stays tight. You're going to do it with the left foot now. Left foot. Soften your knee. Belly's tight. Move your hips backwards. Tap your toe. Press up through the heel. Squeeze your butt. These are one-legged Romanian deadlifts. These are prisoner hip hinges, standing. With this, we're going to keep your belly really tight. Feet are hip width apart, maybe just slightly bigger. And what we're going to do is take our hands and put them behind our head. Not pulling on your head, just touching the back of your head like a prisoner. With this, we're going to soften your knee, soften your knees, and you're going to push your hips backwards like you want to knock somebody over. Okay? Hips come all the way back. Hamstrings feeling the stretch, and right back up. It's important with this exercise to keep your stomach strong and your elbows back the entire time. Here it is again. Pushing back with your hips, feel the stretch in your hamstrings. Squeeze your butt back up to the front. All the way back, keep your belly tight, right back up to the front. Most of the weight is going to be on your heels with this exercise. Hands behind your head, belly tight, weight on the heels, soften your knees, scoot your butt all the way back, right back up forward. These are prisoner standing hip hinges. These are standing hip hinges. With this exercise, you're going to have your feet shoulder width apart. Belly is going to stay tight at all times, and you're going to have soft knees during this exercise. Okay? So, soften up the knees, hands behind the butt. Keep your belly nice and tight, and you're going to move your hips backwards as if you want to knock somebody over here. Okay? So, soften your knees. Hips go back, spine stays straight. Squeeze your butt, bring your hips back forward. Belly stays tight during this. Most of the weight should be on your heels. Butt comes back, chest stays up, squeeze your hips back forward. Out, back forward. This is what it looks like from the front. Keep your belly tight, most of the weight on your heels. Soften your knees and keep your shoulders back. Hips move backwards. Squeeze your butt, bring your hips forward. All the way back, all the way forward. belly stays tight. These are standing hip hinges. These are standing hip hinges with a stick. We're going to, with this exercise, keep our feet shoulder width apart. Belly stays tight the whole time, and we're going to have soft knees. We're going to take the stick, put it on your butt and on your upper back. You can hold it with one arm or two. With this exercise, soften the knees. Most of your weight is going to be on your heels. Keep your belly tight and push your hips back. You should feel a good stretch in the hamstring as we push our butt back, and now we're going to come forward. Both your back and your butt should remain in contact with the stick the whole time. Here it is again. Belly stays tight. Press your hips backwards. Most of the weight is on the heels. Feel a stretch in the hamstring. Squeeze your butt, bring yourself back up. From this angle, belly stays tight, feet are hip width apart. Soften your knees. Hips are going to travel backwards and the spine stays nice and straight. Right back up. As you're coming up, you squeeze your butt muscles. All the way back, all the way up. This is standing hip hinges with a stick. These are hand walkouts with a push-up. So, belly stays very tight with this exercise the entire time. We're going to stand. Get into a squat position until our hands are firmly planted on the ground. Walking your hands out into a push-up position, and then we're going to do a push-up. Going to walk ourselves back, bending your knees until your heels are flat on the ground. Press up through your heels, squeeze your butt, keep your belly tight the whole time. Bending down, hands flat on the ground, walking yourself out to a push-up position. Give a good push-up. Walk yourself back, bend your knees, heels on the ground, press up through your heels, squeeze your butt, keep your belly tight. This is what it looks like from this angle. Belly stays tight. Squatting yourself down, hands planted, walking yourself out, push up, walk yourself back in until your heels are on the ground, press yourself up, squeeze your butt, keep your belly tight. These are hand walkouts with a push-up. These are hand walkouts. With this exercise, you're going to keep your belly very tight the whole time. Feet are about shoulder width apart, maybe a little bit wider. You're going to squat down, put your hands flat on the ground. Walk yourself out into a push-up position. Keep your belly tight, don't let it sag down. Now we're going to walk back, bending your knees until your heels are flat on the ground. Press up through your heels, squeeze your butt, keep your belly tight. Again, squatting down, hands firmly on the ground. Walk yourself out, keep your belly tight. Walk yourself back in until your heels are on the ground. Press up through your heels, squeeze your butt, keep your belly tight. from this angle, feet hip width apart, stomach stays strong, squatting down, hands on the ground, walk out to a push-up position, keep your back up, walk back in until your heels are on the ground, press up, squeeze your butt, keep your belly tight. These are hand walkouts. These are power squats with no jump. With this exercise, you're going to keep your feet slightly wider than shoulder width, and we're going to get into a squat position. Hips come back, belly stays tight. Most of the weight is distributed evenly along the whole foot, just like this. Our arms are going to be back, and we're going to explode up as if we were going to jump, but there's not going to be any jump with this. So, all the way back, explode up, squeeze your butt on the way up. Press down through the floor. Up, back down, up, back down, up. This is what it looks like from this side. Hip width apart, your feet, belly stays tight. We're going to do a squat like we normally do, hips back, weight evenly distributed along the foot. Arms all the way back, exploding up, exploding up, exploding up. These are power squats with no jump. Here we have a burpee. We're going to start with this exercise. Hip. Here we have burpees. We start this exercise, core stays tight the entire time, and your feet stay about hip width apart. With a burpee, we are going to get down into a squat position. Put your hands flat on the floor. Jump your feet out into a push-up position and keep your hips up. Don't let them sag down like this. Keep your hips up. We're going to jump back. Bring your feet as close to your hands as you can. Press up through your heels. Squeeze your butt. Up. Bring your hands down. Squat down to the floor. Jump yourself out. Jump yourself back in, press up through your heels, squeeze your butt, and squeeze your belly up. Down, out, in, up, up, down, down, out, in, up, up. This is what it looks like from this angle. Feet hip width apart. We're squatting down, hands on the ground. Out into a push-up position. Jumping back in, feet towards the hands, press up through the heels, belly tight, butt tight, arms up. Down, out, in, up, up. Down, out, in, up, up. These are burpees. These are modified burpees. Belly stays tight the entire time. Feet are a little bit more than hip width apart. We're going to get into a squat and put your hands on the ground. We're walking one leg out, other leg out. One leg in, other leg in. Press up through your heels, squeeze your butt, belly tight, arms up. Down, down, palms on the floor. Walk out, keep your back up, don't let it sag. In, up, up, down, down, out, out, in, up, up. Let me show you from this angle. Feet are hip width apart. You're going to keep your belly tight the whole time. We're going to come down, put your hands flat on the ground, out, out into a push-up position. Don't let your hips dip. We're going to bring our feet in, up. Squeeze your butt on the way up, up. On the floor, out, out, in, up, up. Throughout the whole exercise, keep your belly tight, and when you're coming up from a squat, squeeze your butt. These are modified burpees. These are burpees with a push-up. So we're going to keep our feet shoulder width apart. Belly stays tight the whole time, and as we come up from the burpee, you're going to squeeze your butt. We're going to do a big squat. You're jumping back, giving a push-up. Jump your feet all the way back in towards your hands. Push up through your heels, squeeze your butt, keep your belly tight, up, down, down, palms flat on the floor. Jump out, keep your back up, push up, jump back in, press up, up. Let me show you from this angle. The whole time, your belly stays tight, feet about shoulder width apart. Going to squat down, put your hands on the floor. Jump out, keep your back up, push up, jump back in, feet towards your hands, push up through your heels, squeeze your butt, keep your belly tight, up, down, out, push up, in, up, up. These are burpees with a push-up. These are modified burpees with a push-up. So we're going to start with our feet shoulder width apart. We're going to keep our belly tight the whole time, and we're going to use our butt to come up from the squat position. So we're coming down, hands flat on the floor. Walk one foot out, walk the other foot out. Keep your belly tight, no sagging. Keep your belly tight. We're doing a push-up. Walk your foot in, other foot in, push up through your heels, squeeze your butt, belly tight, arms up. Down, down, out, out, push up, in, push up through the heels, squeeze your butt, belly tight, up. Down, out, out, push up, in, up, up. To show you from this angle, belly stays tight, hip, feet, shoulder or hip width apart. We're going to come down, walk out, keep your back up, push up, walk in, press up, squeeze your butt, belly tight, up, down, out, push up, in, up, up. These are modified burpees with a push-up.